There is a tremendous joy in finding what you do best, discovering your purpose, maximizing your potential. Good morning, guys. I'm Coach Ricardo Miller. And hey, guys, if you've been following me for a while, you know I've been pushing people, challenging them to literally maximize their potential, set themselves up to glorify God. I love the term effective living. Okay. I love the idea that God has created us to live life in a way where we're not going from crisis to crisis. Let me say it again. The goal is not to be going from crisis to crisis. Now, unfortunately, there are a lot of people who have not take the time, Sean. There are a lot of people who have not taken the time, Jamal. There are a lot of people who have not taken the time to study. How am I doing life? How am I doing life? And the question is life working for me? Yeah, yeah. Is life working for me? So this morning, I want to dive in to a subject matter that I think it's very important as we move towards 2025. I want us to look at the 5 top mistakes people made in 2024. There are all kinds of mistakes that were made this year, but we're taking it personal. We're going to lean into it and look at it for ourselves. In other words, what could I have done better? If you don't study your past, you're more inclined to repeat it. So what I want you to do is I want you to set yourself up to really win in 2025, doing some things different so God can be glorified through you. Now, once again, 2025 has the potential to be your best year ever. Let me say it again. 2025 has the potential to be your best year ever. However, you're going to have to be very intentional about how you show up. You can't be afraid to look where you haven't looked before. So, the top 5 mistakes people made in 2024. Now, I'm not going for the ones that almost everybody thinks about. And I'm not going for the ones where people start pointing the fingers. I am leaning into the ones that all of us should be concerned about. All of us should be concerned about. And so John Maxwell says this, I thought it's such a profound quote. He says, a mistake is only an error in judgment if you do not learn from it. A mistake is only an error in judgment if you do not learn from it. By identifying where you fall short, okay, we can open the door to greater clarity and success in the future, but you got to be willing to go there. You got to be willing to look into it. So I want us to review these 5 top missteps, I call them, of 2024. Number 1, y'all ready for this? Number 1, watch this. Living without clear priorities. Living without clear priorities. Huge mistake this past year. Huge mistake this past year. In other words, watch this. Without having clear priorities, everything appeared to have priority. And what happens is, in those type of positions, people will say things like, you know what, I've got so much going on, and man, listen, where does the time go? And I feel so scattered, and it's because you haven't organized your life. Everything can't have priority. Everything can have priority. There are some things that has greater priority than others. How many of y'all agree with that? How many of y'all agree with that? So you have to learn how to identify what is top priority and what need not be even be on the list of priority. But some people haven't taken the time to study that. I'm learning that everything doesn't have the same level of priority. And once everything doesn't have the same level of priority, you don't need to feel bad of when it comes to organizing your life, because now you realize one of the common mistakes made in 2024 was people were living without clear priorities. Okay? What is the top priorities in your life? Success requires intentionality. Success requires focus. Success requires alignment with your values. You can say no to things that does not fall in line with who you are and where you're trying to go. That's some good stuff right there, right? I believe that with my whole heart. So make a commitment to don't show up going into 2025, Brittany. Don't go up. Don't go into the next year not having priorities. Everything can't be a priority. Everything can be a priority. And so living without clear priority was a problem in 2025. I started to do a review and I looked into this and I thought, you know what? What are some of the common mistakes made this year? What are some of the common mistakes? And I'm like, Lord, help me not to repeat the mistakes I made this year. Can I get about 5 of you to declare that this morning? Lord, help me not to repeat the mistakes I made this year. I shouldn't even go any further until I get everybody to say that with me. Lord, help me. Well, that's a good prayer. Lord, help me to not repeat the same mistakes I made this year. Because here's the deal. A lot of people, Sean, a lot of people are going to repeat the same mistake. As a matter of fact, some people haven't even acknowledged it to have been a mistake yet. Some people haven't even acknowledged it to have been a mistake. So this morning we're talking about the 5 top mistakes people made in 2025 when it comes to moving themselves away from living effectively, from hindering them from maximizing their potential. Number 2, you all ready for number 2? Number 2, neglecting health and wellness. Number 2, neglecting health and wellness. Ooh, it's a big one. It's a big one. It's a big one. We're talking failing to realize you're trying to go after money. But if you lose your health, what does it profit you to have the money and you've lost your health? You're aiming to get the degree. You want the corner office. You want that car. You want that house. But you're neglecting your temple. You're neglecting your temple. You're neglecting what God has given you to use to do all of these things that you call a priority. All of the things that you call that's important. Neglecting health and wellness. How many of us have been told, how many of us have been reminded that we should do annual physicals? How many of us? And yet we don't. How many of us have been encouraged to go ahead and drink more water? But yet we don't. How many of us have been told, hey man, you need rest. Okay? But we neglect it. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, health is wealth. Okay, health is wealth. Mario, I'm here to say this morning, one of the mistakes people made this past year was they neglect their health. And then they come out, the devil's trying to attack my health. Listen, I'm here to tell you, when you are given truth, you have to apply the truth, right, Pastor Kino? When you're given truth, you have to fight to apply the truth. You say, well, I don't have a habit of drinking water. Well, you know that your body needs water. You've been told that time and time again, drink more water. Okay, put it on the refrigerator. Set yourself up to do it. When you go to restaurants, you just request water. You have in your car a couple of bottles of water. Hello, on your office desk, you have a bottle of water or two because you know you need water. Then guess what? Lock it in. Every year you go get an annual physical. Well, I'm afraid to get an annual physical because I just don't like doctors. But you want to live. but you want to live. And then here's the deal. You don't like doctors, but you want to live, and then you're so quick to say the devil's attacking your body. When a lot of things, some of y'all agree with me, a lot of things are preventable. A lot of things are preventable. I am believing in 2025 for divine health. I am believing for no sick days in Jesus' name. Can I get some people to agree with me? I am believing for divine health. I am believing for no sick days. But here's what I also have to do. I have to engage with this belief that I have in a healthy way. Meaning, here's the deal. Faith without works is dead. Once I discover that there are things I can do to show God, to show God that I am being responsible. Responsible. Going to the gym is not so much about how people will view you, even though people will view you as somebody who cares about your body. That's not what it's about. It's about knowing if you want to live another 20 years, why not service the vehicle God has blessed you with? If you know you want to live another 20 years, you want to live another 10 years, you want to live another 5 years, whatever it is, wherever you are. See, the Bible says, where there is no vision, Pastor Kino, it says, where there is no vision, the people perish. The ability to see a future sets you up to do work that's intentional to get you there. If you don't have wellness as a priority, before you know it, you could fall out. Before you know it, you can just crash. Before you know it, you could find yourself falling apart because you made the wrong thing the main thing. Health and wellness needs to be a priority for you going into the new year. So, your physical, mental, and emotional well-beings are the foundation of effective living. Don't be afraid. Check your insurance. You got a good job. Check your insurance and see. Will they pay for a therapist? Go ahead, once a quarter and just book an appointment. You just want to make sure that you are okay in your head. You just want to make sure that you're okay emotionally. You want to talk through some stuff. It's okay. Go ahead. Find out what all your insurance cover. Make sure you take advantage of those 2 dental appointments that automatically come with your dental insurance. They give you 2 free cleans. Well, it ain't free, but 2 cleans that comes with it annually. I told my doctor, hey, I'm a speaker. I don't want no bad breath. So here's what I need. I need to get my teeth cleaned professionally every 4 weeks. So it's 3 times a year professionally, rather than just the 2. She said, well, you're going to have to pay for that. That's okay. I'll pay for it. That's okay. I'll pay for it. So go ahead and make sure you're taking care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. Miller, I am broken. Miller, I am hurting. Miller, I can't go there. Then you need to embrace help, because help is available to you. You don't need to be going year in and year out not addressing the difficult things that needs to be addressed. Number 3, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking today, this morning, the 5 mistakes people made in 2024. Now, if you're enjoying this, do me a favor and share, okay? Share this with others, because all I'm doing is trying to wake up some people to dive into getting into that place what makes them more productive, allowing the year to be more favorable for you. You could do the work to make each year work for you. Let me say it again. You can do the work to make each year work for you. You don't have to cross your fingers and hope. Okay? You don't need to cross your fingers and hope. You need to tell yourself 2025 is the year to be intentional when it comes to clear priorities, when it comes to my health and wellness. Number 3, here's what has been a common mistake: avoiding financial discipline. A common mistake this year has been avoiding financial discipline, buying things you don't need to buy, and allowing yourself to be engaged in the distribution of your money going all over the place and not where it really needs to go. Everything, once again, can't be important. And then here's what you got to remember when it comes to financial discipline. You pay now or you pay later. Either way, you pay. You have to learn how to discipline yourself to literally tell yourself, hey, listen, I'm going to suffer it to be so now. I'm going to play small now. I'm going to be frugal now, extremely frugal now. Even if you want to call me cheap, I'm going to be cheap now. I'm going to literally eat beans. I'm going to do what I have to do because here's the deal. Here's the deal. I don't want to always be in a rut. I don't want to always be with my back against a wall. I don't want to be so easily cornered by financial restraints. I'm responsible to ensure that I have an emergency fund. I'm responsible that should life happens in a way that I had no control over it, I had set myself up to not immediately be taken out. Okay, so poor money habits can limit your freedom, your growth, and your opportunities. Okay, listen to these. Listen to this. There are people who are praying, Lord, I need some opportunities in 2025. But you're not doing well with money, and the opportunities that comes will come sometimes with the need to have money. Oh, Lord, I want to grow in 2025. But if your money is funny, you can't take advantage of the growth opportunity. I need freedom. I feel stuck. I just feel like everything is just because you got clothes in your closet you haven't worn in a while. You got shoes you ain't worn. You've been buying stuff every season because everybody else is buying. Because everybody's wearing a certain color, you don't have to wear it. Listen, man, you ain't got what they got. They ain't got what you got. You got priorities. You're trying to set yourself up not to be so easily stressed. Angela, there are some people who are stressed every particular season, every particular month, every weekend. Every time the mortgage come up, they stressed out. Every time the rent comes, they stressed out. Every time the car notes due, they stressed out. Listen, man, they are stressed out because they're living on the edge. And here's the deal. Because we're in such a strong consumption, I mean, literally consumerism and just everybody just want more. What we've done is we can't afford it. And we're not setting ourselves up financially to be able to get out of this can't afford position. We try to live like everybody else when we shouldn't be trying to live like everybody else. We should be trying to, I like what Dave Ramsey says. Dave Ramsey says, if you live like no one else, you will be able to live like no one else. If you live like no one else, you will be. Somebody said to me not so long ago, Angela, they said, hey, I was wondering if you wanted a Cowboys hat. I mean, Dallas Cowboys hat. I noticed you like hats. I said, no, I'm okay. They said, man, I'm going to get you a hat. I said, you can go ahead and cash out me that money. They said, what do you mean? I said, rather than give me that Dallas Cowboys hat, you can cash at me because I'm going to be wearing Effective Living hat. Come on, babe. Come on. I'm going to be wearing what's mine's. Jerry got his, I got mine's. Hello. Jerry got his, I got mine. See, I'm not trying to fit in. I'm trying to stand out. I'm trying to be the person who says, I'm not stressed. I'm trying to be the person who don't have to follow the crowd. The Bible says be in this world, but not of this world. I'm not trying to lose it by trying to look good only to be stressed out. Only to be stressed out. So I have chosen to say no to a lot of things where everybody else is doing it. I'm not everybody else. So I was at Jerry World. I was at the stadium, the Cowboy Stadium, wearing my Effective Living hat, Sean, and wearing my Effective Living hoodie. And somebody said, where's your jersey? Well, you better come from out my face talking craziness. But there's 90,000 people in this place wearing jersey. You ain't think that's enough? I just wish 2,000 of them would be wearing Effective. Come on, bro. Come on, step it up. You need to shake yourself free from that limited position that causes us to be financially bound. So in 2024, avoiding financial discipline. Okay? Now, somebody's calling me this morning. You know, this cannot be a friend. A friend would never call me at 6 o'clock in the morning when they know I'm teaching. That has to be somebody who don't follow me, right? So, what can I say? All right. I should have had my phone on undisturbed. I know I should. So this whole avoiding financial discipline, okay? Avoiding financial discipline. There's another level of discipline you need to embrace, because write these 3 words down. Write these 3 words down. In 2025, you want freedom. I need to see it on the screen. Write the words down. People, help me out. In 2025, you want freedom, you want growth, and you want to take advantage of opportunities. So there's freedom, growth, opportunities. Freedom. Somebody said, well, why are you so frugal? Angela, write these down. Watch this. Why are you so frugal? Because freedom, growth, and opportunity. Do you know an opportunity could present itself and you say, boy, if I had the money, I would. Come on. A growth opportunity could present itself. You say, oh, if I had the money, I would. Freedom, this could set you up. But if I had the money, I would. So write these 3 words down. Freedom, growth, and opportunities. That's why I'm watching my coins. That's why I'm paying attention to my money. Let me tell you something. You're making $20 an hour. You can buy a good Nike shirt for $20. Think about it. Think about it. You know, somebody said, I only wear name brand. You can't afford some of the brands you're wearing. So you got to start looking at your money a little bit different. You got to start looking at your money a little bit differently. You say, hold on. Here's the deal. Somebody told me, Pastor Ken, a fella said to me, yeah, Miller, you know, for years I've been wanting to go in your coaching program, but you know, I can't really afford it right now. I said, for years? He said, for years. But here's the deal. He said, well, you know, I only just wear name brand. But you're stuck, bro. You stuck because you misplaced priority. You haven't captured the understanding on the need to put first things first. Remember this. You're going to pay either way. You pay now or you pay later. You pay with the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Okay? You pay with the pain of disciplining yourself to eat noodles and macaroni and cheese and tell yourself you playing low right now because you enrolled in a class. You went ahead and got yourself a coach. You got yourself a financial planner and you're paying your way to go to the top. But on the back end, listen, man, how many of y'all remember the days where, you know, when you really didn't have it, you went home and you washed your clothes for the next day rather than having 4 shirts for school? Angela, I came from the neighborhood where I didn't have 4 shirts for school. I think I had 2. So what you had to do is you had to go home, Angela, and you had to wash one so you could wear the other, and then you wash the other, then you wear the other. It wasn't that that's where I was going to stay. It wasn't that was where I was going to remain. It was just that's where I was at the time to ensure that it wasn't the main thing. The main thing was getting to school and having the books and having the geometry set and paying for those BJCs and setting yourself up. Pay now or pay later. Either way, you're going to pay. Either way. So I crack up when I see people, I can't afford to pay for it. Well, I can't afford to go get an annual checkup. But you eating fast food every day. Put that money aside and tell yourself, I got to go get my annual checkup. I got to go to my dentist. I have to go see a therapist. I have to get a financial planner. The clock is ticking, man. I'm getting too old. And if I don't become more responsible, I want to avoid this, Miller. I don't like hearing you, Ricardo. Ricardo, you're a problem. I'm not a problem. You're the problem. You're avoiding the truth. The truth will set you free. So make sure avoiding financial discipline is one of the problems that was in 2024. Don't let that be your problem. Downsize a little bit. Some of the things you have, you don't even need. I remember I used to do garage sales just to level things off because I'm like, hey, listen, make that little extra money here, make that extra money here. I was doing 3 jobs at one time. 3 jobs. Why were you doing 3 jobs? Because I did not want to be cornered. I was working the late night shift. I was doing by appointments, and I was on a church job. I'm talking about whatever I needed to do to make sure when I showed up, when opportunities presented itself, I wanted to have the money to be able to respond. Freedom, I didn't want to feel so cornered. Growth, come on, am I telling the truth? Are y'all feeling me this morning? So remember, guys, you have to address the money subject. So this morning we're talking about the 5 common mistakes people made in 2024. And so let's go on to my last 2 points. Okay, so number 1 was living without clear priority. Number 2 was neglecting health and wellness. Number 3 was avoiding financial discipline. Number 4, ladies and gentlemen, number 4 is letting fear dictate decisions. Write that down. Letting fear dictate decisions. Letting fear dictate. Fear of what people gonna think is a fear. It's a real. It's real. Fear. Oh my goodness. Real growth happens when you embrace challenges outside of your comfort zone. Somebody said to me, you go into a Cowboys game without a Cowboys jersey? I'm going to the game. They're lucky the tickets were paid for, but I'm going to the game. I'm going an effective living. I don't fear what people, come on, man. You got to get to the point where you free yourself from what people think of you and you set yourself up to live life on a higher level. Hey, tell yourself burnout is not in your future. Financial restraint is not in your future outside of the discipline you've chosen to have. You just tell yourself, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I gotta do this so that I can have peace. I love peace. I love the peace of God that passes all understanding. I'm not trying to please and impress people to a point where it takes me out of the will of God and it causes me to be affected with my health. So letting fear dictates your decision. And a lot of us haven't addressed the fear that's in us. And we say this with confidence, Miss Linda. We say this, Angela, with confidence. God has not given us the spirit of fear. You say that, but you need to come in alignment with that truth. That is the truth. That is the truth. Now you have to do, watch this. Now you have to lean in and says, hold on. I've been letting fear grab me at the throat. That's why I haven't started that business. I've been letting fear grab me at the throat. This year, I did about 4 things I never thought I would do in 10 years. This year, I did about 4 things that was necessary for me to become who I am today. This year, I did about 4 things that was critical for me to learning and earning and embracing the voice of Ricardo Miller. I'm 49 years old, and I'm just now shaking the shackles of certain fear factors off. And I'm telling you, if you don't shake off the shackle of fear, it will cause you not to do what you need to do. That's some good stuff right there. So here's the deal. Real growth happens when you embrace challenges outside of your comfort zone. And there are some people this year, you found yourself doing what you've been comfortable doing. I told somebody the other day, I said, you need to join a Toastmasters club. Or, I don't like being out with people. We'll talk about that in a moment. Okay. I said, well, what you need to do is you need to start taking your lunch to work because you can't afford to buy lunch like everybody else. Well, everybody goes to lunch. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go, Miller, it's difficult. So if everybody's going for lunch, I go to lunch with them. You can't afford to. You can't afford to. I have I have me 2 cars in the garage, man. 2 cars, but you're behind on both. Well, all of my friends, all my family, everybody got 2 cars. All of those, you have to look at why are you responding like that? And why should you not have what they have or not doing what they're doing is still causing you to respond the way that you're doing. That's why I think sometimes you need to go sit with a therapist and say, I want to examine my behavior. I want to go and look at how I've been showing up in the world. And I gotta figure out why do I do what I do? Because you could look good on the outside, but really just be making a bunch of dumb mistakes. Anybody know what I'm talking about? I've been there for a long time. Just really look good on the front end, but on the back end, you're just not really good. And it's become an addiction. It's become a habit that you now just chose to look good, but you're one You're just one mishap away from a crisis. Okay? You're one mishap from a crisis. So here's the deal. Structure yourself in a way that you address the fear. What are you afraid of? Oh, I'm afraid to go to a doctor visit. What are you afraid of? I'm afraid to sit down with a banker. What are you afraid of? I'm afraid to deny myself the right to eat however I want to. Yeah, when I get paid, I treat myself with a meal. You can't afford to treat yourself with a meal because your rent is always the most stressful thing in your life. Come on. So I think fear. Okay? And you would be amazed how many people would poop themselves if their credit score was revealed on social media just instantly, just without anybody knowing. It just everybody's credit score just revealed. Fear. Oh my God, I don't want anybody to know. I don't want anybody to know. Heck, at this age, you're still afraid of people to know. It is what it is. And I'm working on it. It's not that I have it all together. It's that whatever I don't have together, I'm not afraid to confront. And I'm addressing it. I don't care how afraid I've been in times past. I'm getting rid of the fear because God has not given me the spirit of fear. Can you say that with confidence? God has not given me the spirit of fear. So last point this morning, we're talking 5 top mistakes people made in 2025. This one right here is huge, guys. This one is huge. And that is number 5, ignoring the power of relationships. Write it down. Ignoring the power of relationships. Ignoring the power of relationships. You've heard me say it before. If you've been hanging around here for a while, the journey is better with friends. The journey is better with friends. You get to the point where you start to realize you were not created to do life alone. And if you're not doing life in a social circle sense, you're setting yourself up to not advance at the best level. Human beings are social creatures. Okay? We do better together. So, I don't like people. You have to learn to like people. I'm not good with people. You can acquire people's skills. Well, you know what? I'm a loner. You need to change that. Well, I don't work well in a team. You could change that. That's one of the mistakes is here. Watch this, Angela. The greater the assignment on your life, the more people you're going to need. Well, I don't really do good with people. Then you're going to be limited, which is going to cause you to be frustrated. When you're frustrated, now you're wondering why the devil is attacking you. The devil's not attacking you. You are hindering yourself by not acquiring the skills of dealing with people. One of the things you have to learn about people is people are different. Everybody's not going to be your cup of tea, and that's okay. You don't have to like everybody. You just have to respect them. I don't like sushi, but I don't have to diss the sushi store, right? There are a lot of things when it comes to fulfilling your destiny. You're going to need people who don't naturally gel with you, but how and what they have is aligned with what you have. And both of y'all got to get out of your feelings to get to where you belong. You are going to need people. The greater the assignment on your life, the more people you're going to need. So healthy, intentional connections are essential for long-term success and fulfillment. I feel so alone. Listen, you don't have to have children. You don't have to have a spouse. The world is filled with 8 billion people. 8 billion people. And you're not friends with your neighbors. You're not friends with anybody on your job. You're not friends with, come on, it's so sad. Just ask God, Lord, help me to be more friendlier. I know what some of the fear is. The fear is that people are bad and you've dealt with some of those bad people, but everybody's not bad. I believe that there are more good people in the world than there are bad people. And I believe that a part of our skill set needs to be learning how to identify who is good and who is bad. Well, everybody has hurt me, Miller. That's because you haven't done well in learning people. I didn't say that there aren't bad people in the world. I say you have to acquire the skills to be able to identify. It's called discernment, okay? It's called discernment. And when you notice somebody for who they are, remind yourself that's who they are. You can't make somebody who you want them to be. But what you could do is label them for who they've revealed themselves to be. That right there is deserving of an offering. You can't make somebody who you want them to be. But when they reveal who they are, you can label them for who they have declared themselves to be. That's just who they are. Now, you could choose to have Judas at the table, or you could choose to kick Judas out. At the end of the day, you still need to know who is your Judas. Now, remember, when you look at your social circle, if you have 12 people in your social circle and 12 of them are Judases, you are a bad judgment of character. You pick 12 bad guys to have as friends. That's not a friends thing, that's a you thing. Every now and again, you may end up with one bad person. Even Jesus had one. Okay? Right? But if you have 12 of them, your discernment is off and your judgment needs to be looked at. Go back and get it. Tell yourself, hey, I've been poorly judging how to bring people close to me. And now I push everybody away from me. And pushing everybody away from me is also hurting me. I'm Coach Ricardo Miller. Don't miss tomorrow. We'll do another exciting. What's tomorrow? Is the day Friday? It is. There's no session tomorrow. Love you guys. Do me a favor and share this. Somebody needs to listen to what Miller's talking about. If you thought this was good, like, share, comment. I will be back on Monday. We're going to do another talk because there are some things I think we need to look into before we go into the new year. Somebody is assigned to help you. Don't do life alone. It's your responsibility to identify who is for you and who's against you. And here's the deal. Sacrifice has to be made. A higher level of discipline has to be made. A humbling process is going to take place. For you to get to where you're trying to go, the humbling process is going to demand that you get out of your shell, out of your comfort zone, get out of pride, and embrace what is going to be necessary for you to get to the next level. Some of us, pride has kept us locked in to our little cubby hole, and you want to soar. You want to soar, but the truth is you will never soar if you don't get past pride and failing to be humble to get to your promise. God bless you guys. Have a great day. I will see you back here on Monday.